Do you feel stuck in loops of overthinking, fear, and resistance? These 8 invisible mental traps might be sabotaging your peace and growth. The Tao tells us life is a river. Forcing is swimming against the current. Wisdom is learning to flow. But how can you flow when your mind is a cage? Maybe the world isn't what's holding you back. Maybe it's 8 mental traps hiding in plain sight. In this video, we explore Taoist insights to help you break free from self-sabotage, reconnect with your natural rhythm, and rediscover mental clarity. Inspired by Wu Wei, ancient wisdom, and mindful living. The comfort zone trap and the illusion of safety. You say you're waiting for the right moment, but deep down you already know what needs to be done. Still you choose the comfort of the familiar, the warm numbness of routine. The comfort zone feels safe, but it's a golden prison. And real growth always asks you to trade safety for movement. Taoism doesn't push, and it invites you to move like water, quiet but unstoppable. Nothing in the world is more flexible than water, yet nothing resists it. Life doesn't start when you feel ready. It begins when you surrender to flow, even with fear. Courage doesn't come from force. It comes from alignment. Start small. Replace comfort with awareness. Today, break one tiny pattern. Take a new path. Say yes to the unfamiliar, or notice what you've been avoiding. The first step outside your comfort zone is already freedom. The perfection paralysis trap. You don't start because it's not good enough yet. You tweak, postpone, overthink, and nothing ever gets done. Truth is, it's not about being perfect, it's about fear. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of being exposed. So you stay in the draft and life stays on pause. But Taoism reminds us, a giant tree begins as a tiny, invisible seed. The final result matters less than the act of beginning, sincerely. There is no perfection in the Tao, only process. Flow is stronger than control. Starting is wiser than endlessly preparing. Let go of the weight of perfection. Be imperfect, but real. Honest action opens paths the mind can't predict. Today, share the unfinished. Do the small thing. Perfection doesn't transform. Movement does. The victim mindset trap. Everything seems against you. People don't understand. Life doesn't cooperate. Nothing changes, no matter how much you complain. That feeling of powerlessness starts to grow until it becomes your identity. Pain turns into personality. And without noticing, you begin to defend your own chains. But Taoism says, knowing yourself makes you unshakable. Blaming others keeps you asleep. Wisdom begins when you stop blaming, not when you carry guilt. You can't control everything, but you can always choose your response. And that choice changes everything. Stepping out of victimhood is an act of quiet strength. It doesn't mean ignoring your pain. It means refusing to be defined by it. Today, notice where you've handed over your peace. Then take one piece of it back. Even a small step is a silent revolution. The chronic comparison trap. You scroll through your feed and feel behind. Everyone seems more beautiful, more successful, more fulfilled, and you start measuring your life with someone else's ruler. But comparison is always unfair. You only see the surface. Meanwhile, you lose touch with your own unique path. Taoism reminds us, when you stop competing, your true beauty unfolds. The lotus doesn't rush to bloom like the others. It follows its own timing. You also have your rhythm. And when you honor it, comparison fades. You're not behind, you're becoming. Today, replace comparison with contemplation. Look at what you've built. Remember what you've survived. Feel quiet pride for what no one else sees. The Tao doesn't reward the fastest. It carries the most authentic. The instant gratification trap. You feel a void and rush to fill it. Endless scrolling, fast food, impulsive shopping, constant distraction. For a moment, you feel relief, but soon comes the weight. The emptiness doesn't go away, it just changes shape. And so you trade presence for pleasure, clarity for noise. Taoism says, the flavor of the Tao is subtle. Those who crave intensity never find peace. True satisfaction doesn't scream, it whispers. It lives in stillness, in waiting, in the sacred simplicity of now. A mind addicted to stimulation loses its sensitivity to meaning. Today, pause before the impulse, wait 5 minutes before reacting, feel the discomfort, and move through it with awareness. Serenity lives beyond urgency, and when you reach it, the world slows down with you. The fear of looking weak or stupid trap. You hold back from asking questions. You've been afraid to seem ignorant. You avoid trying, afraid to seem weak. You pretend to know, even when you're completely lost. In doing so, you abandon your most powerful tool, the ability to learn. The ego would rather fake strength than risk real growth. But the Tao reminds us, knowing you don't know, that is true wisdom. When you allow yourself not to know, you create space for truth. When you allow vulnerability, you uncover a deeper strength. Humility is the root of all lasting transformation. Today, notice where you fake it. Admit one doubt. Ask for help. Start again with an open mind. The beginner's mind flows like the Tao Bitai, and that's why it learns everything. You don't need to be wise, you just need to be willing. The overthinking trap. You analyze everything. What if it fails? What if they judge me? What if it's the wrong time? 1,000 scenarios, 1,000 what-ifs, and zero movement. Thinking becomes a way to avoid living. And when the mind never quiets down, the heart never speaks. The Tao says, stop thinking and your problems will end. Not because thinking is wrong, but because excess disconnects you from the present. Wisdom appears when you feel, act, and observe, without drowning in control. A clear mind knows when to be still. Today, make space for silence. Disconnect for an hour. Walk without a goal. Breathe without a plan. What your mind is chasing may already be known in your body. And the decision you fear? It might already be made deep within. The approval-seeking trap. You shape your words to please. Avoid conflict to be accepted. And every time you choose based on someone else's gaze, you disconnect from yourself. It's exhausting to always try to be enough for everyone and still feel unseen. But the Tao doesn't seek applause. When you stop trying to please, you finally start to exist. Nature doesn't care who admires it. It simply blooms, and that's the invitation. Bloom without permission. Live without needing to be watched. Today, say no, be honest. Write what you mean, not what they expect. Freedom doesn't come from being approved. It comes from approving yourself fully. Conclusion: breaking free from mental traps. None of these traps scream, they whisper. In habits, in hurry, in the quiet voice that says, not now. That's why they're dangerous. They slip in unnoticed and quietly take over. But awakening begins with seeing. To notice is already to begin freeing yourself. The Tao doesn't ask you to fix everything at once. It simply invites you to stop resisting your natural rhythm. You don't need to be flawless. You just need to flow with truth, softness, and presence. So today, choose one trap to let go of, just one, and give yourself the quiet gift of inner freedom. If this video made you reflect, like, comment I begin again, and subscribe. It helps keep this message alive.